With the polls largely deadlocked, the Prime Minister is sharpening the contrast ahead of what he's framing as a high-stakes contest.
This is not a time for wrecking, for cutting, for thinking small, aiming low and looking back. This is a time for building, for looking after people and looking to the future.
Sticking to core Labor values, Anthony Albanese announced the near completion of a decade-long deal to finish the so-called Gonski reforms and fully fund public schools. And in a nod to the housing crisis, a $10,000 bonus for apprentices in the home building sector.
They could earn more stacking shelves at the supermarket.
He should have made the announcement 2 years ago. We support it in terms of what we've seen.
The opposition leader is comfortable with the contrast, focusing on what he sees as Labor's policy failures and their consequences, seizing on polling suggesting support for keeping Australia Day on January 26 is at its highest level in years.
I think since The Voice, to be honest, not only was $500 million wasted and the Prime Minister divided the country, but I think with the outcome there are many Australians who felt that a dark cloud had been lifted from their heads and they were able to speak out on different issues.
I sometimes think Peter Dutton every year has a fight with an imaginary friend over something that most Australians are just getting on with Australia Day. You know, like just chill out.
The Prime Minister sought to draw the sharpest contrast on the question of character. Anthony Albanese addressed head-on the opposition leader's central criticism of him, that he's weak. And he offered his own critique of Peter Dutton, painting him as a divisive leader who avoids scrutiny at all costs.
What's tough is coming here, fronting up, as I did last year, saying that we have changed our mind on tax cuts. It's the toughest thing I've done this term.
But one widely embraced by voters. Jane Norman, ABC News, Canberra.